You wonderful people, lovers of aviation history, welcome to yet another series of sharing experiences from the Aviation Maestro Multimedia. Captain Victor Amwa is my name, and I'm happy to have you all here. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and tell a friend to tell another friend that Captain Amwa is here with another banger. So many questions keep cropping up. Interestingly, some whether it's related to me in the flight deck or me off the flight deck. And the question I have you ever had a medical emergency on board? I first want to go through the procedures with you. Our flight attendants, whenever they check in to work, they are briefed on so many things. It's called a first aid briefing. So they brief on things like epilepsy, stroke, angina, choking, and so many things that can happen to passengers whilst on flight. And they have procedures for it. So obviously, whenever they come to work, they rehearse it, they brief it, they discuss it, and things like that to psych them up. So whenever they see situations like this, they know how to deal with it. On this fateful day, I will not say the company, I will not say, a lot of things for the sake of security and everything. But on this fateful day, from a flight from Lagos to Accra, the crew encountered some situation which was not in their manuals. Because their manuals on first aid treat so many things, from cuts to burns to cardiopulmonary resuscitation, as CPR, to blood clots, to so many things. You even think they are nurses. But what happened on that day from Lagos to Accra was not in any manual, and I don't think it has been revised in any manual. What if you have a passenger who is demon possessed? Yeah. Demon possessed. And what is demon possessed? All of a sudden, somebody who you give, like, say, 50 kilos or 52 kilos, very small, you will not give him even 5 feet. So you can just picture it. 5 feet at most, 52 kilos with weight, smallish as he is, on that fateful day. Let's say 20 minutes into a 40-minute flight, or maybe 17 minutes into a 40-minute flight from Lagos to Accra, he gets demon possessed. All of a sudden, this guy is sitting there, he has extra strength to literally even carry the aircraft to Accra. He rips, the divider of the seat between himself and the next guy. There's this thing, the seat divider. He just rips it off like tear the paper. The seatbelt that he had fastened, he just ripped it off as if he was just pulling the curtains down, or all of a sudden, and ready to charge at the next, thing that he meets. What would the flight attendants do? Okay, the male ones went there trying to restrain him, but trust me, from the accounts of that day, the witnesses will tell you that guy had enough extra strength of, let's say, you just imagine him having the strength of 25 more people or 25 more bodybuilders in that small 5 feet, maybe 52 kilo body. So trying to go and restrain him, you are just wasting your time. He may even throw you somewhere like a yo-yo, or like so you can imagine. And they were trying all means to restrain him. There were some people were screaming here and there and everything. Then luckily enough, on that flight, on that fateful day, there were a group of people going for a Christian meeting over the weekend in Accra or something. So they volunteered to attend to the passenger, and with prayers and extra prayers in those languages, which I don't want to mention, extra prayers in those languages over, maybe I would give from the accounts, over maybe I'll give for about 5 to maybe 7 minutes. Then this guy's strength started to dwindle, and this guy was now calm. I think he slept, from the account, either he slept or he was just dazed for some time until the flight arrived in Accra. The reason I brought this thing up was, these are some of the things we go through in the industry. So many things that you prepare for which your manual may address or give you guidelines as to how to go about it till you meet. In first aid, you try to keep the casualty as safe as possible till you get the next help. That is the ambulance or any paramedic team or anything. It's not the flight attendant's duty to treat the person as if he or she was a doctor or a nurse, but just keep him under a safe condition till the next help comes. So they have so many things, guidelines for so many first aid events in their manuals. But on that day, what they saw, and these are some of the things that sometimes we see even as aircrew and things, the emergencies and things that you get, how to address it are not really, those things are not really spelled black. In fact, that's even if it's in the manuals at all, it's not even spelled black and white. Too many gray areas. You always have these gray area events. And these are some of the things we went through. But like we said, thankfully that day, God's chosen people were there, and we were able to address, at least keep the situation to a barest risk, minimum risk, and we thank God for something like that. But these are some of the things we see, in this our industry. It's not to scare you, but just to know that our crew are prepared for so many things, and we always try to keep the casualty as safe as possible and keep revising our procedures and making it better. So those are some of the medical, emergencies. We call this even though it was a mental, but it still comes under medical, emergencies. Still can stay with me for more stories, and we'll slowly bring aviation closer to your doorstep. But hey, mind you, before I go away, before you say I wanna be, it's one of the events that we are holding. Already Afienya, Tamale, and Kumasi. Before you say I wanna be, stick and stay with us. Peace.